Hi, everyone. Today we have a new task ahead of us, a math test calculator section. We have 38 questions and 55 minutes. So approximately 90 seconds per question. So that's what's ahead of us. For questions 1 to 30, we have to solve each problem, choose the best answer from the choices provided and fill in the corresponding circle on the answer sheet. And for questions 31 to 38, we have to solve the problem and enter the answer in the grid on the answer sheet. The use of calculator in this section is permitted, so we can start now. Question number 1, John runs at different speeds as part of his training program. The graph shows his target heart rate at different times during his workout. On which interval is the target heart rate strictly increasing and then strictly decreasing? So let's check our answers. Between 0 and 30 minutes. So this would be the part at the beginning as shown. So we see that it's increasing and then no change from 10 to 30 minutes. So this is not our correct answer. In B, between 40 and 60. Between 40 and 60, this is the part here. And we see that it's increasing and then decreasing as it should be. So we can select B. Let's check the other two answers between the 50 and 60 minutes. This is decreasing at the beginning and then increasing, so not the correct one. And between 70 and 90 minutes, we have this part here, which has no change. So we'll select answer B. Question 2, if y equals k times x, where k is a constant, and y equals 24, when x equals 6. So we can write 24 equals k times 6, and we can divide with 6, and we get k equals 4. What is the value of y when x equals 5? So y equals 4 times 5 in that case, and y equals 20. Our answer here is C. Question 3. In the figure above, lines L and M are parallel, and also S and T are parallel. If the measure of angle marked as 1 is 35 degrees, what is the measure of angle marked as 2? So 35 degrees is also here, and 35 degrees is also here. Angle marked as 2 plus 35 degrees must be equal to 180. So this should be 145 degrees. Or answer D. Question 4. If 16 plus 4x is 10 more than 14, what is the value of 8x? So we can write 16 plus 4x is equal to 14 plus 10, So 4x equals 24 minus 16. We get 4x equals 8, and we want to know the value of 8x. So we multiply by 2, and we get 8x equals 16. So our answer is C. Which of the following graphs best shows a strong negative association between D and T? So the answer should be D, strong negative. C would be strong positive association between two variables. Next one is question number 6 here. A hospital stores one type of medicine in 2 decagram containers. Based on the information given in the box above, how many 1 milligram doses are there in one 2 decagram container? Okay, so 1 decagram equals 10 grams. And 1 gram is equal to 1,000 milligrams. So 1 decagram will be equal to 10,000 grams. How many 1 milligram doses? This should be milligrams. How many 1 milligram doses are there in one 2 decagram container? We can multiply this by 2, and we get 2 decagrams will be equal to 20,000 milligrams. So the answer should be 20,000. Question number 7. We have rooftop solar panel installations in 5 cities, marked as A, B, C, D, and E. The number of rooftops with solar panel installations in 5 cities is shown in the graph above. If the total number of installations is 27,500, what is an appropriate label for the vertical axis of the graph? So we see that we have numbers from 0 to 9. The sum is then 9 plus 5 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3.5. And this sum is equal to 27.5. But the total number of installations is 27,500. So the proper way of marking the vertical axis would be number of installations in thousands. So C, because then the total sum would be 27.5 thousand installations. We continue with question number 8. For what value of n is absolute value of n minus 1 plus 1 equal to 0? So we can write absolute value of n minus 1 plus 1 must be equal to 0, or absolute value of n minus 1 is equal to 0 minus 1, which would be minus 1. But absolute value cannot give us a negative number, so we'll choose this answer there is no such value of n. Questions 9 and 10 refer to the following information. A equals 1052 plus 1.08 t. The speed of a sound wave in air depends on the air temperature. The formula above shows the relationship between A, the speed of a sound wave, in feet per second, and T, the air temperature, in degrees Fahrenheit. Which of the following expresses the air temperature in terms of the speed of a sound wave? So we must express the air temperature, which is here on the right side of the equation, in terms of the speed of a sound wave, so A. Firstly, we'll subtract 1052 from both sides, and we'll get A minus 1052 equals 1.08 T. And now we want to express T. So T should be A minus 1052 divided with 1.08. So correct answer for number 9 would be A. Number 10 also refers to that formula. At which of the following air temperatures will the speed of sound wave be closest to 1000 feet per second? Okay, so A should be very close to 1000. And we have our formula from question number 9. So we can just use that formula. We need 1000. Minus 1052 divided with 1.08. This should be minus 52 divided with 1.08. And we get minus 48 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the answer marked as B. Question number 11, which of the following numbers is not a solution of the inequality 3x minus 5 is greater or equal to 4x minus 3? So 3x minus 4x is greater or equal to minus 3 plus 5. Minus x is greater or equal to 2. And when we divide with minus 1, we get that x is less or equal of number minus 2. Which of the following numbers is not a solution of the inequality? So minus 5 is the solution. Minus 3 also. Minus 2 is a borderline solution. So correct answer would be minus 1, because minus 1 is greater than minus 2. Question number 12. We have number of seeds in each of 12 apples and number of apples. Based on the histogram above, of the following, which is closest to the average number of seeds per apple? So we have 2 apples with 3 seeds. Then we have 4 apples with 5 seeds. 1 apple with 6 seeds. This right here. 2 apples with 7 seeds. And 3 apples with 9 seeds. And we'll divide that with the total number of apples, which is 6, 7, 9, 12. And this is 6 plus 20 plus another 6 plus 14 plus 27. And this is 73 over 12. Which is 6.1. So we'll select answer C. Question 13. A group of 10th grade students responded to a survey that asked which math course they were currently enrolled in. The survey data were broken down as shown in the table above. Which of the following categories accounts for approximately 19% of all survey respondents? So we need 19% of all survey respondents. And the total number is right here. So 0.19 times 310. Which is 59. And 59 is this category here. So males taking geometry course. So C. The table above lists the lengths to the nearest inch of a random sample of 21 brown bullhead fish. The outlier measurement of 24 inches is an error. Of the mean, median, and range of the values listed, which will change the most if the 24-inch measurement is removed from the data? This will not be true. Mean and median will change slightly, and range will change the most. Because if we remove 24, range becomes 16 minus 8, which is 8. Otherwise, with 24 included, range would be 24 minus 8, which is 16. So this change will be very, very visible. So we have questions 15 and 16. They refer to the following information. Total cost of renting a boat by the hour. Okay. What does the C-intercept represent in the graph? So this right here, the C-intercept. So this would be the initial cost of renting the boat. So just the initial cost without any time taken. So this would be A. And in 16, which of the following represents the relationship between H and C? So initial cost is 5 in dollars. This is a linear function. So C should be mx plus b, but instead of x, we have h. B is number 5, initial cost of renting. So we can write 5 here. And now we need another point from the graph. We'll take this point here. This point has coordinates. H equals 3 or 3 hours. And the cost is $14. C is 14. So if we use that information here, 14 equals m times 3 plus 5, we'll get 9 equals 3m, and m equals 3. So relationship between H and C would be C equals 3H plus 5, and the answer is C. Number 17. The complete graph of the function f is shown in the xy plane above. For what value of x is the value of f of x at its minimum? So minimum is right here, and we need the value of x, which is here. So this x is actually -3. So we'll select B. Number 18. In the xy plane, if 0 and 0 is the solution to the system of the inequalities above, which of the following relationships between A and B must be true? So if 0, 0 is a solution, we'll take 0 as x and 0 as y and replace them in inequalities above. So we'll get 0 is less than -0 plus a, and also 0 is greater than 0 plus b. What does this mean? That a is a positive number and b is a negative number. So what must be true is answer marked as A. A is then definitely greater than B. Any positive number is always greater than any negative number. Question number 19. A food truck sells salads for $6.50 each, and drinks for $2 each. The food truck's revenue from selling a total of 209 salads and drinks in one day was $836.50. How many salads were sold that day? Okay, so we have a system of two equations. First equation, x plus y equals 209. And second equation is related to the cost of salads and drinks. So 650x plus 2y equals 836.5. And we need the number of salads, which is x. So we'll multiply the first equation by -2. Then we get -2x minus 2y equals 418. Now we can add both equations. And then we get 4.5x equals 1,254.5. And now we can divide everything by 4.5. And we get this was a -418. So we actually have 418.5. And then we divide with 4.5 and we'll get our answer. Which is 93. So 93 salads were sold that day and also 116 drinks. But we must choose our answer for salads, and this would be 93. Question number 20. Alma bought a laptop computer at the store that gave a 20% discount off its original price. The total amount she paid to the cashier was $P, including an 8% sales tax on the discounted price. Which of the following represents the original price of the computer in terms of P? So if we mark the original price with X times, because of the 20% discount, will multiply with 0.8. And then she paid extra 8% sales tax on the discounted price. This would be times 1.08. And this is the way we get the amount she paid to the cashier. or P. And now we want to find original price in terms of P. So X would be P divided with 0.8 times 1.08, which is D. Now we have the data in the table above, which was produced by sleep researcher studying the number of dreams people recall when asked to record their dreams for 1 week. Group X consisted of 100 people who observed early bedtimes, and Group Y was otherwise. If a person is chosen at a random from those who recalled at least one dream, what is the probability that the person belonged to Group Y? So at least one dream would be this region. And we have a total of 35 plus 125, which is 164 people. Probability that the randomly chosen person belonged to Group Y is then this amount here. So 79 over 164. And this would be our answer here, C. Questions 22 and 23 refer to the following information. Annual budgets for different programs in Kansas, 2007 to 2010. Okay, so question 22. Which of the following best approximates the average rate of change in the annual budget for agriculture, natural resources in Kansas from 2008 to 2010? So this is the time period we're looking at, and also agriculture. We have annual budget for 2008 and annual budget for 2010. The difference between those budgets is 130,000, which must be divided with 2 because from 2008 to 2010, there are 2 years, and 130,000 divided with 2 will give us 65,000. Question number 23. Of the following, which program's ratio of its 2007 budget to its 2010 budget is closest to the human resources program ratio of its 2007 to its 2010 budget? So now we're analyzing human resources ratio. So the ratio is approximately 4 to 5.9. Public safety is not in that ratio. Neither is highways and transportation. General government also. And education is right there. So education, we need 1.5 times the annual budget of 2007. So 2.1 times 1.5 is approximately 3 million. So we'll choose education, B. And let's go to question number 24. Which of the following is an equation of a circle in the xy plane with center 0 and 4 and the radius with endpoint 4/3 and 5? So center, we can mark it as P and Q. Equation of a circle is then written like this. Equals r squared. So we can eliminate answers B and D. And now we want to find the radius. Radius is the distance between center and the endpoint. And the distance would be 4/3 squared. This is the difference of x coordinates, and plus 1 squared, which is the difference of y coordinates of a center of a circle and the endpoint. This distance is actually radius. So we have square root of 16/9 plus 1. And r squared is then 25/9. So we'll choose answer A, not C. Question number 25. The equation above expresses the approximate height h in meters of a ball t seconds after it is launched vertically upward from the ground with an initial velocity of 25 meters per second. After approximately how many seconds will the ball hit the ground? The ball hitting the ground means that its height is equal to 0. So we have our equation, 0 equals minus 4.9 t squared plus 25 t. And then 0 equals we have two possible options now. T can be equal to 0. And the other option is minus 4.9t plus 25 is equal to 0. And this equation will give us approximately 5 seconds until the ball hits the ground. Question 26. Katerina is a botanist studying the production of pears by two types of pear trees. She noticed that type A trees produced 20% more pears than type B trees did. Based on Katerina's observation, if the type A trees produced 144 pears, how many pears did the type B trees produce? So we'll mark number of type B trees, number of pears by type B trees as X. And we know that 144 is equal 1.2 times X. So 144 must be 20% more than X. And then the X becomes 120. When we divide with 1.2, we'll get X equals 120. Question 27. A square field measures 10 meters by 10 meters. 10 students each mark off a randomly selected region of the field. Each region is a square and has side lengths of 1 meter, and no two regions overlap. The students count the earthworms contained in the soil to a depth of 5 centimeters beneath the ground surface in each region. The results are shown in the table below. So which of the following is a reasonable approximation of the number of earthworms to a depth of 5 centimeters beneath the ground surface in the entire field? So approximation would be 1500. We have 10 regions, which are roughly all around 150. 150 times 10 equals 1500. So we'll choose B. Question 28. If the system of inequalities y is greater or equal than 2x plus 1 and y is greater than 1/2 of x minus 1 is graphed in the xy plane, which quadrant contains no solutions to the system? So this equation right here this means that this part is included. And now this region is also included from the second inequality. So we can see that the quadrant marked as 4 contains no solutions to the system. So we'll take the answer C. Question number 29. For a polynomial p of x, the value of p of 3 is equal to -2. Which of the following must be true about p of x? X minus 5 is a factor of p of x. x minus 2 is a factor of p of x. The remainder, when p of x is divided by x minus 3, is equal to 3. We'll choose our answer here, D. And now question number 30. Which of the following is an equivalent form of the equation of the graph shown in the xy plane above, from which the coordinates of vertex A can be identified as constants in the equation? So vertex A should have coordinates of 1 and minus 16. And the equivalent form must consist number 1 and number minus 16. This is the vertex form, which is often written this way. And we have vertex coordinates, which are x0 and y0. And now questions 31 to 38. Question 31. Wyatt can husk at least 12 dozen cars, 12 dozen ears of corn per hour, and at most 18 dozen ears of corn per hour. Based on this information, what is the possible amount of time in hours that it could take Wyatt to husk 72 dozen ears of corn? So the possible amount of time, first 72 divided with 12 equals 6 hours. And also 72 divided with 18 is 4 hours. So the possible amount of time greater than 4 and less than 6 hours. Question 32. The posted weight limit for a covered wooden bridge in Pennsylvania is 6,000 pounds. A delivery truck that is carrying X identical boxes, each weighing 14 pounds, will pass over the bridge. If the combined weight of the empty delivery truck and its driver is 4,500 pounds, what is the maximum possible value for X that will keep the combined weight of the truck, driver, and boxes below the bridge's posted weight limit? So already, without carrying boxes, the combined weight of the empty delivery truck and its driver is 4,500 pounds. So just 1,500 pounds are left for those boxes. Each box is weighing 14 pounds. So we can divide 1,500 with 14. So the maximum possible value for x is 107. And we can continue with question 33. So we have number of portable media players sold worldwide each year from 2006 to 2011. According to the line graph above, the number of portable media players sold in 2008 is what fraction of the number sold is in 2011. In 2008, we had 100 million. And in 2011, we have 160 millions. And this is 5/8. Question number 34. A local television station sells time slots for programs in 30-minute intervals. If the station operates 24 hours per day, every day of the week, what is the total number of 30-minute time slots the station can sell for Tuesday and Wednesday? So we have 2 days, 2 full days times 24 hours is equal to 48 hours. And now we can divide 48 hours with the length of those time slots. The length is 1/2 of hours. So 96 is the total number of 30 minutes time slots the station can sell for Tuesday and Wednesday. 35. A dairy farmer uses a storage silo that is in the shape of the right circular cylinder above. If the volume of the silo is 72 pi cubic yards, what is the diameter of the base of the cylinder in yards? So we need diameter D. Volume of a cylinder is calculated as r² pi times the height of the cylinder. So this is the height, 8 yards. 72 pi is equal to r² times pi times 8. And from this equation, we get r² equals 9 and r is 3 yards. But we must calculate the length of diameter of the base, and diameter is twice as large as radius. So 6 yards is the answer. Question number 36. For what value of x is the function h above undefined? So we must start with x minus 5² plus 4 times x minus 5 plus 4 equals 0. And now we'll make a substitution. So x minus 5 equals t. So t² plus 4t plus 4 equals 0. And this is t plus 2² equals 0. And we get t equals minus 2. as our result. And moving on here, x minus 5 equals minus 2. And then x must be equal to 5 minus 2 or 3. Question 37. Jessica opened the bank account that earns 2% interest compounded annually. Her initial deposit was $100, and she uses the expression 100x to the power of t to find the value of the account after t years. So what is the value of x in this expression? X is here, and x should be 100% plus 2% interest. 102% or 1.02. So this is the value of x, and t years, this is the time after Jessica calculates the amount of money she has on her account. Jessica's friend Tyshawn found an account that earns 2.5% interest compounded annually. Tyshawn made an initial deposit of $100 into this account. At the same time, Jessica made a deposit of $100 into her account. After 10 years, how much more money will Tyshawn's initial deposit have earned than Jessica's initial deposit? So after 10 years, this means that t will be 10 for both of them. So Jessica's expression works out like this: 100 times 1.02 to the power of 10. And Tyshawn has 100 times 1.025 to the power of 10. And we need a difference between So Jessica will earn 121.9 in dollars, and Tyshawn will earn $128. So the difference is $6.1. And this is the end of calculator section. So we had 38 questions in 55 minutes. And this is it. So this SAT math practice test is now over. I hope you guys enjoyed, and take care until the next time.